Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something unique, and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else, and how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life.
When you look at the accomplishments of accomplished people, and you say, boy, that must have been really hard. You know, when you look at something that looks hard, that was probably easy. And conversely, when you look at something that looks easy, that was probably hard. And so you're never going to know which is which until you actually go and do it. So just go and do it, try, learn from it. You'll fail at some things. That's a learning experience that you need so that you can take that on to the next experience. And don't let people who you may respect and who you believe know what they're talking about, don't let them tell you it can't be done. Because often they will tell you it can't be done, and it's just because they don't have the courage to try.
You want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that. See, most people engage in low-life living, low-risk living. Viscott said if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? I like what Helen Keller said. Life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. And so you want to begin to take some chances. You want to begin to challenge yourself and make it okay to fail and learn from your failures. Don't allow fear of failure and the allure, the attractiveness of playing it safe in life to draw you in. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here.
Work very, very, very hard to figure out what the world's going to look like in 5 years. What will people be doing? What will your customers want? Where will costs will be? In our case, what will networks look like? How important will phones be? What will the apps look like? What services? And spend an awful lot of time on that. And then take a look at your offerings. What are the strongest ones? Which are the ones that are going to iterate quickly? You're probably going to do fine there. You understand those businesses. What about these others? If you think about in the media business, there are media businesses that are growing very well and others that are in great trouble. This is completely predicted 5 years ago, right? So the leaders and the ones that are in trouble should have, right, done a 5-year plan and said, holy cow, what are we going to do? What are the things we can do? Or maybe we sell ourselves or we try something different. But almost all of these strategic shifts are predictable using my 5-year model.
You know, if at some point in your life, you know, you have to work with people where you feel a bit insecure, right? That's essential because that means you're working with people who are better than you and who are pushing you, right? And so I always encourage, if you actually feel very secure in what you do, you know, that means you're doing something comfortable and you're not pushing yourself. And so there are many times I felt working with people in a group, am I doing enough? These people seem much better than me, and I think that's an inherent part of learning.
There's no point in us going into something unless we can really shake up an industry, make a major difference, unless it's going to, you know, enhance the Virgin brand. If there's any danger of it damaging the brand in any way, even if it's going to make us a lot of money, you know, cigarette companies or something like that, we wouldn't do it. And you know, because life's short, you know, we want to enjoy the experience. So, I mean, we're not, you know, very rarely have I actually sat down and thought, you know, can we make a lot of money by going into this industry?
Blessing off a flow like a river. 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 Massacre them know say we a leader. Shut at them ready for press a trigger. Blessing off a flow like a river. On the back of we tell them and I believe like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river.
Anything you do, nothing happens overnight, man. It seems that way, but it's all hard work. I have been on planes, trains, and automobiles for the last 13 years, out selling the sport, getting deals done, getting doors slammed on my face. You name it, it's all happened.
Right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and you know, it's hard to put into words, real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense, but I feel very strongly that we are who we choose to be.
Spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying it. I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job, and our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which is that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Take full responsibility for your life. Accept where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go. Someone said we have two primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim.
Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you're afraid to fail, then you're always holding yourself back because you're afraid that if you go all out, you may fail. Well, in weightlifting, we learned that very quickly. The only way you could break a record is if you're willing to fail. That's when you put on more weight, you try it, sometimes you will not be able to lift it, which has happened to me many times, but eventually, when you train hard enough, you will lift it. So don't be afraid to fail, and how far can you fall?
You have to have the talent to be able to make something that people want. But then you also have to have the drive and the desire to, sometimes people are successful because maybe they don't have that drive, but they have someone around them who takes their raw talent and pushes them. But what you often see is when that other person steps away, their career can collapse, even though their talent may be immense.
I take it year by year. And that's what I try to tell kids. Don't move to next year too fast. Just like don't go to tomorrow too fast. Deal with today. Deal with right now. Let your years take care of your years, but go year by year, go day by day, go hour by hour, go minute by minute.
And I mean, personally, I always try to listen because maybe I'm not getting something. I always try and take everybody's, because it's important to listen to everyone, as many people as you can, and get their input. But then finally, you have to make your own decision about what you're going to do, and that's it. That's what you feel, and that's it. And that's the most important thing. I think the most important, because that's where the uniqueness comes in, because it's you. You've done it. It's your thing. It's not anybody else's. It's your choice.
I don't wish to alienate people here about what I'm about to say, but your destiny is in your hands, and I succeeded because I had to, and no one sorted anything out for me. I didn't ask to go to any government and said, pretty please find me some work, please, and do something for me, because it was a waste of bloody time. Simply that, a waste of time. And if I was going to do something, I had to do it myself. That's it. And I would say to every one of you here, don't sit around relying upon magically some government going to create an environment that's going to make it easy for you to find work and find jobs. You've got to go out there and fight for it yourself. I'm sorry to say I can't give you any other form of advice. If you want something bad enough, you do it. And if you look at some of these wannabes that make themselves television stars or pop stars and all that type of stuff, they have a desire to want to be famous, and they don't stop until they're recognised, and they do. And half the people that you see on television these days in the entertainment industry are those that had a determination that wanted to do it. You're going to control your destiny. I'm telling you, no one else is going to do it.
I found out in life, as life goes on, life is about losing. As we get older, we lose our hair, we lose our teeth, we lose our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, and but it's the ones who overcome their lost in life and could shun away adversity and always willing to fight it. Every particular moment in life are the ones that are able to transcend and be able to spread the word to other people who's in that same particular genre as they are.
Set out these goals, and then you have long-term goals, and then you have short-term goals, and somewhere within, you find your hobbies, and then you find the things that you